Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money, trying this again, round two for us here on this end. If you're listening, we had a little bit of trouble with the first show, or the first attempt at this. Apparently, there were some issues with the internet. I hope I sound okay now. I hope everything sounds good. Anyway, let's get right into it, shall we? Because we got a lot to talk about, nerdy goodness, and dang it, here we go. It's every Tuesday right here in the heart of Wailuku Town on the beautiful island of Maui. We talk games, movies, TV shows, and of course, all kinds of other fun nerd-related culture stuff. So let's get right to it, shall we? Let's do these intros one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy, he is the producer, seducer. He is the man, like I said before, has a silly name, but of course, it's not as silly as something like Grogu. Ladies and gentlemen, say what's up to Kai. He's in the house tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm glad you're social distancing and wearing your mask while on the show. So good on you, sir. Good on you. Also joining us this evening, boys and girls, this man right here, he is our Dark Knight. He's the darkest knight that I could get for the program. He is also the punk rock superstar. He is the horror aficionado. And if you've ever seen him around Maui County, he's wearing a cape, a cowl, and a utility belt, fighting crime on the streets of Wailuku. Ladies and gentlemen, please show some reverence, show some love, and wear that mask for the man we call Gannon. And don't let his name tag fool you if you're watching us live on Facebook. Also, joining us this evening. It's one of my favorite intros. Also joining us this evening, this guy right here is, I don't know, this is, I think this is my favorite intro. One of my favorite intros. He is our man in black. Tonight, he's very excited because, yes, tonight, he is setting up his PC to go through another adventure through the land of Azeroth. He is also a magician who we found out puts pigeons in his pants to make them disappear. He also does some pretty cool card tricks. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to the man we call Phormat. I'll unmute you guys momentarily. I want to get to. Actually, you know what? I want to unmute you guys now. I totally forgot. So anyway,
hella choppy. You're all screwy. Oh man, we're gonna have to start this all over again.
Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, I can speak now.
I just wanted to point out that with my entire introduction, I find it funny that I look like Mother Teresa and not Batman with your entire thing.
That is very true. Also, joining us this evening, once again, I think this is my favorite introduction. Let's get right to it, shall we? He is the comic book artist extraordinaire. He is the creator of Disco Thunder Groovebone, Mohawk Thunder, and of course his perennial work, the Kukui Project. If you're asking when will it end, we've been asking him that for years. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Hawaiian Salted Superman. It's Todd Bernardi!
Yay.
How's it going, Todd?
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
I got to give you some credit, man. I love the fact that you're smoking a stogie. I mean, I'm not a... Yeah, you're may I ask, because I'm not an aficionado, may I ask what kind of stogie are you smoking tonight?
He's smoking the reefer.
This is a Rocky Patel Decade. It's a Maduro. It's square pressed.
You're making all of that up, aren't you? None of that's real.
Yes,
he's making it up.
You can ask the next guy. He knows all about it.
I'm smoking a Scallywag cigar. Everybody knows about those.
It's a Maduro. They're square pressed. They're, I don't know, 5.5 by 52 or something like that.
Also joining us this
Square
evening.
press.
Before I do the rest of my intros, Kirsten wanted to drop in and say, "Nice again in the cosplays and uncircumcised." Nice, lovely.
I was trying to recreate my birth, actually, but it didn't work.
Is that
out.
what you were trying to do? Nice.
Yeah.
Also joining us this evening, this guy right here. He is the chairman of the comic book board. He is the godfather of comic books, and he is also the sinister minister of Maui Comic-Con. He is the self-proclaimed comic master, and yes, he's the owner, proprietor of Maui Comics and Collectibles. He is freaky. He is deaky. He's definitely leaky, and he's really sad that Thundercats Roar got canceled. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to
I'm not.
Alika, Dr. Freaky, Daddy Leaky in the house. There's no accounting for taste, but hey, whatever.
I
am.
I'm very sad there's no Thundercats Roar.
Are you very sad? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, before we officially get started here on the program, it's important that I bring up this next guy. This guy is a special guest tonight. He is also he is a comic book artist, a tremendous artist. I've seen his hands. They are made. They have been touched by the hand of God, ladies and gentlemen. They are quite amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, the man who has done comic books for all types of Disney characters, including one of our favorites. He works with Tad Stones and Aaron Sparrow on a Darkwing Duck. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello. Put your hands together for one of the most ultimate Star Wars fans I have ever met. It's James Silvani. He's in the house. Who doesn't love James Silvani?
That guy right there.
James Silvani is joining us tonight, not to just nerd out with us, but he's also, like I said, a huge Star Wars fan. He's been watching The Mandalorian, and he has some thoughts. Okay,
It looks like James and Gannon and Alika all went to the same adoption agency.
Wow.
Now, before we get started, I just want to let you know we are simulcasting on Facebook at facebook.com/NERDWatch. We're also on YouTube at NERDWatch Nation, and we now have an official Twitch account at twitch.tv/NERDWatch808. That's twitch.tv/NERDWatch808. Make sure you follow us on there and follow us on all the platforms. And before I forget, I keep forgetting to put this on right here. Let's put this up. There we go. There's all our socials right there. You can follow us at the bottom.
Does that ticker tape say we're going to spoil the crap out of the Mandalorian?
Yes, it should, but don't worry, we will. Anyway, tonight is since we have a special guest.
That's all you need to know.
We're going to skip the official comic book list tonight because we're not getting those comics until next week, according to Alika, Dr. Freaky Daddy Leaky. But we are going to check.
New comics I did get though. I got a bunch of Frank Cho comics for his appearance here on Sunday.
Well, I can't believe you. I'm glad you said that because Frank Cho is going to be at Maui Comics December 6th, correct?
Yep, that is correct. I just dropped off a box.
That guy knows how to draw the females.
He sure does with them big booty wheat cakes. He's going to be here on Sunday, but I've got a bunch of comics that are by him. Some hardcovers like Ballpoint Beauties and the Liberty Meadows Collected Edition. Those are all up in one box up at the shop, easy to find. They're all together. Most of the comics are cover price unless I priced them otherwise. Some of the Liberty Meadows are a little higher than cover price. But otherwise, you can go up and get some stuff to get signed by Frank. You bring them in. The first 3 signatures are free for anybody, $5 a piece after that. And it's going to be a fun time. So go get the books now. We're not holding or reserving any of the books. And hopefully what's left we'll have for sale on Sunday at the event, which is going to be 3 to 5 p.m. Socially distanced, masks required. We're going to be taking temperatures at the door and making sure everybody's being safe. That's the main thing.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you say taking temperatures at the door.
Yes, Gannon, I have your rectal thermometer.
Okay, good.
Of course.
Just checking.
Of course.
Just want to make sure.
Of course.
That's actually the only reason I'm showing up.
I'm not putting that in my mouth after Gannon.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
Well,
while
all
you're
I
like
know
the
is-
thermometer, it's going somewhere else, buddy.
is if you are a comic book nerd, you want to check out Frank Cho, Maui Comics, December 6th. More information, check it out on Maui Comics on Instagram and on Facebook.com. And I'm curious, since Frank Cho is so good at drawing suggestively, I was curious, James Savani, have you ever tried to suggestively draw a Disney character?
Well, I was trying, but you won't pose for me.
Oh, I don't
That's
think
actually
we can do that.
one of James's convention policies is no naughty stuff.
No.
Listen, there's
He's
a
a
difference
good- he's
between
a nice
naughty
guy.
and
He's just
suggestive.
What?
Huge difference between naughty and suggestive. Anyway, just want to let you guys
Greg,
know
if
that
you-
we will.
Greg,
Yes.
if you
Yes,
want
Todd.
one of those drawings, I'll draw one. I'll draw them.
Yeah. You know what I
Yes.
found? Speaking of that, I found the drawing that you and Francine teamed up on of B. Arthur and Betty White 69ing. That was
yeah.
Good night.
what a
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Yeah, James Savani's out of here. I was going to say thanks, James, for coming today.
It's
I
been fun.
appreciate it. Listen,
was,
I'm really.
I have a way better one than that. I still
was
have
a
the one where
crazy
Todd
damn
drew me as Kate
crazy
Winslet in
character.
Titanic. That's good stuff.
Oh, that's right. He did. Oh my gosh, he totally did.
I still have it.
Anyway, listen, I just want to let you guys know if you guys are watching us live on Facebook or any one of the platforms on YouTube, on Twitch, you guys can comment. We'll see the comments, and if you have a great comment or question, we'll put it up on screen so you guys can see it. And you guys get recognized in the chat tonight as well. So make sure you do that. Anyway, before we get started with all of the goodness of Star Wars and The Mandalorian, we got to check out Todd's comic book box. Todd, anything
Oh,
you're
man,
reading
we're
right
gonna
now?
do this?
That's
Yeah,
Yes.
there's two things. I just got this in the mail. Can you guys see that?
yes, we
This
can.
is by John J. Murakami, Adventures with Zori. This is by popular demand. He would draw these strips with about his cat, and he posts them on his social media, and then people just really liked them. And so he decided to collect them all, redraw them all, and collect them all. So if you guys get a chance and you see these anywhere, you should check this out. It's really, really funny stuff. Local
Seems like a lot of
comic
work.
book artist from Honolulu and friend of the show. And then I just backed a Kickstarter called Aquarius, the Book of Myrrh by Afua Richardson. And Afua Richardson's worked on everything. You know, she's done DC and Marvel stuff. She's Aquarius Book of Myrrh is going to be coming from Image in May, but if you want to get it earlier than that, you can get on the Kickstarter. She's also going to be releasing like an album of music that goes along with the comic book, and I think that's exclusive to the Kickstarter campaign.
Oh, sweet.
There's another like 20 or 30 days on the campaign. It's fully funded, so everybody's going to get their books.
While we're on the topic of Kickstarter, I also want to give a shout out to Moana McAdams and the Moana Nui podcast. Her Kickstarter is still ongoing, and she's got a lot of awesome incentive prizes, including a lot of Hawaii-based artists. DJ Kavikani, I supported at that level and got that giant canvas print. That was beautiful. But also a lot of independent creators donated PDF copies of their books, and so there's different support levels where you can get a USB loaded with independent comic creators,
Cool.
books and stuff like that. Definitely a Kickstarter you want to support, because the podcast is going to be great. So we're pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all my the Kickstarters I got, I mean, my money's all tied up in Berserker right now. So I mean, I don't know.
Oh yeah, because Keanu Reeves needs more money.
That sounds about right,
Okay.
Greg. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Anything else, Todd? You're reading?
Just the normal stuff, you know. I gotta go. I didn't get a chance to pick up my comics from.
Oh, I
Alika.
was going to ask you about Big Girls 4, and I have your copy, so you haven't read it yet.
Yeah. So I need to go get the books.
But
that's
Kirsten Bozio, also of the Masters of the Obvious podcast with Cynthia Rose, they've been also enjoying Big Girls. That makes me. I only read issue 1, but I kind of want to read and catch up and see how the story's going.
Issue 3 was great. I'm looking forward to issue 4. I'm looking forward to the entire series. It's going to be amazing. The artwork's fantastic too.
There's so much independent must-read stuff this year. It's like, we definitely got a lot of good stuff coming out. And
James Silvani, question for you, sir. Are you is there anything interesting that you're reading or you'd like to share that you've been taking notice of?
As a matter of fact, there is out just this week. I have the volume 23 of the Carl Barks, Donald Duck, and Uncle Scrooge comics.
Wow!
These are very nice hardcover editions
that
Fantagraphic is putting out. They have all the original coloring.
Wow! Man, Fantagraphics just does incredible work with their collected editions.
That is really cool, James.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Fantastic. These are my first comics that I read when I was a kid. They used to sell these in packs of like 5 when Gold Key was publishing them, and you could just go down to the drugstore and grab them. And this is what sparked my love of comics. And to this day, I am thankful that I got a chance to draw Disney ducks, and it all comes back to this. This was the stuff.
When you do your drawings, do you find yourself getting not just getting inspiration, but also kind of replicating that style to keep it alive when you do your comics?
There is no replicating that style. That's if I get anywhere close, it's completely by mistake. It's
come on, you're fantastic.
Well, and there's something that G doesn't know is that there are factions in the duck lover category of comic people.
There are wait a minute, let me get this right. There's factions of duck lovers?
Because Carl Barks, who is like, he created and basically defined it all. And then comes Don Rosa, and he's pretty fiery and passionate about what he does too. And he doesn't really like to be mentioned with Carl Barks, from what I heard.
Well, well, Carl Barks is more actually a god to him. What he doesn't like mentioning is anything that was done after him, i.e., DuckTales, anything Disney Afternoon.
Wow!
Wow!
Yeah, that is it goes Carl Barks, God, Don Rose, and
and where can we pick that up? Where did you get that? Where can we pick that up if we're interested?
Well, I'm sure Alika carries all the.
He does. Does he?
I haven't ordered the Fantagraphic stuff lately. I have enough trouble dealing with the new DC distributor and Diamond. But
then unfortunately, yes, I did go through Amazon to get this one. And
also, if you don't like licking Amazon's boots, you don't have to get it from Amazon. Fantagraphics actually had an incredible cyber small business sale that they're extending it past Cyber Monday. But if you go check out the Fantagraphics website directly, they also ship direct.
Oh, fantastic. Fantagraphics.com, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. Well, Kirsten got one thing right in the chat. She wanted to say that, yes, I poured all my money into Keanu Reeves and Scott Snyder's campaigns. That's absolutely right, Kirsten. I absolutely did.
I hope somebody will start a Kickstarter for that Zack Snyder guy. He really seems like he needs the support.
Yeah. Every single one of the stuff. Scott, Zach. Well, if his last name is SNYDER, I'm backing it. All right. Anyway, now we lost Gannon again. I don't know what the hell happened to him. Anyway,
he's dropping out.
Oh, well, that's all right. Anyway, listen. We might as well start with what's big right now. The big news. We got another episode of The Mandalorian, season 2, if I'm not mistaken, episode 5. Yes, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
That was the 5th episode. Fantastic. Well, listen, we have an expert, a Star Wars expert here, in James Silvani, and he is here to discuss what has been going on with The Mandalorian, what his thoughts are, and of course, everyone, I believe, has watched this other than myself and Phormat, who can no longer watch it in Swedish.
No, I
so.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, well,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Todd doesn't want to
well,
pony up the $5 a month for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I
Well,
got
James, I will start with you.
I got Carl
What'd you
Barker
get?
comics to buy.
Just lick the boot.
Well, James, we'll start with you, and then we'll move around the room here. James, your thoughts about what's going on so far, and what you thought of The Mandalorian episode 5.
This completely wipes the taste out of my mouth that I had probably a year ago, right about now, when we were all coming off of the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was December 5th, I think.
Yeah. Somewhere around there. But I think that was probably the last time I was on the show. And
I think it was. I think you're absolutely right, James.
So, and
I still have that taste of the prequels right in the back of my throat. It just won't go away, and so I don't know. Anyway,
I'm surprised that the prequels reached all the way back to the back of your throat.
Oh, they did.
Seems like they would be a lot shorter.
They weren't. They were really long.
They're not that big of a movie, you know.
No, they're lengthy. Anyway, James, go ahead.
No, this is doing. The show is doing everything right. I think it's the right amount of fan service. I think it's the right amount of drama, and the right amount of thrills to make my viewing pleasurable each week.
Now, from where we went from season 1 to where we are now in episode 5 of this, we've got, if I'm not mistaken, we have 3 more left.
Yes.
Okay. Now, James, I'm going to give you the honors. Not that it's a huge spoiler, but I'm going to give you the honors of spoiling a couple of the huge things that happened this week on Mandalorian. So please go ahead.
Big one would be we have a name. Grogu.
For baby Yoda, as he's referred to. Yes. Baby Yoda. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Now
and we also got a origin for him.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what was his origin?
The origin would be he was actually trained in the Jedi temple on Coruscant, during the Clone Wars, and when Order 66 came down and the Empire took over, he was spirited away to parts unknown and kept hidden since then, until the Mandalorian came along and found him and took him under his wing.
Now, what we know of this egg-sucking fiend that we call Grogu now, is I mean, as a Star Wars fan, is his origin still kind of murky in the fact that do we know, even though he's trained as a Jedi, do we know what side he falls on yet, or is he still kind of, where is he?
He's so the story in it this week revolved around fan favorite character Ahsoka Tano, and she was introduced live action for the first time to the show, played by Rosario Dawson.
Now, Ahsoka Tano is, for those of you that have watched other animated series from Star Wars, is a very pivotal character in the lore. So when you bring her forward in The Mandalorian, do you think they did a good job of explaining who she is and what she is to those that may be unfamiliar?
I had to explain a lot to my wife while we were watching it together, put it that way.
Okay. Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Really, the most important thing you need to know is she was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. She was his, she was his apprentice, and that at one point before the end of the Clone Wars, she left the Jedi Order when she was framed for a crime that she did not commit. I would like to know a little more about what she was doing, say between the Rebellion, where she showed up in Star Wars Rebels. And when she came back to the land of the living there, what she was doing in between that time and when she showed up on The Mandalorian. But really knowing that she was Anakin's Padawan is the most, I think, important bit of information.
Now, for you, James, what is it that has captured your imagination the way that the prequels did not? Because now you're making an equation from a television program to, or a streaming program to a movie, an epic, an epic cinematic adventure. How is this more gratifying in some respects for you? I mean, obviously it is.
Yeah, I think when you're following one character, it makes it a little easier.
Right.
The main saga movies were always about it, as much as it was the Skywalker saga. It was about a group of individuals. It wouldn't have been that.
I hate to correct you, James. It's the Palpatine saga. But
do you really?
Really?
Sorry.
I don't know.
Sorry.
That's kind of fair. I mean, it starts with Palpatine.
Greg, when you make comments like that, I have to drink more.
Keep drinking, Todd. Keep drinking.
I'm gonna keep drinking until you're funny.
Okay.
Wow.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey, thanks, James. I appreciate your vote of confidence.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're losing Todd to alcohol poisoning.
So, James, it is for you because you are, and I really mean this, you are an incredible Star Wars fan. And we don't say that just because you're on the show, but you have the goods to back it up. Number one, but I think it's interesting that is this, and I asked this, and I'll ask the rest of the guys this, and I think I've asked this before, maybe. Is this because we've had such a horrible hangover with the sequel trilogy that we find Mandalorian to be so much better? I mean, is that what it is? I mean, I don't know.
I can't throw all the movies under the bus in terms of. I think in ranks of Star Wars movies, I would go. Of course, the original is best. A New Hope. Empire Strikes Back. A strong number 3 for me is Rogue One.
Interesting. Listen. I did like Rogue One. I did too.
A Disney-made movie. It's under that watch there, and I am more than looking forward to the Cassian Andor show that's coming up on Disney Plus as well.
That's interesting because I think you're the only guy that I know that's excited about that.
Oh, really? I thought he was a great. Well, I think the banter with him and K2SO is gonna make for a fun show. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at now, before Gannon falls asleep on the show, Gannon, let me turn to you. I'm assuming you watched this episode of The Mandalorian. I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Mandalorian season 2 episode 5.
What the hell is a Baby Yoda? Is this like a prequel show? What are you guys talking about?
No, he's called Grogu now. Did you get a chance to watch the?
Did I lose you?
No, I did not freeze you. You're right here with me, and I hear you. Can you hear us?
Is he still talking to me, and I just don't hear him?
I think it is. Yeah, there, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, good. So, what did you think of episode 5 of The Mandalorian? Are you in agreement with James Silvani here? James
for the great point. I mean, for the most part, I was actually really surprised that they did this episode immediately after saying that we're going to get to see Ahsoka Tano. Like, I was just kind of convinced there was going to be an episode or 2 in the middle until he finally got there, because that's kind of been what the show's been like. Things constantly getting in his way to where he's ultimately going to. So I was actually shocked that the very next episode after they mentioned her, he ended up there.
Well, that was one episode.
Other than that, I thought it was a great episode. I mean, that name sucks, but whatever. Can't unmake it now. That's the only real thing I didn't like about it. I was like, name's the week, but whatever. I'm sure it'll Grogu on us.
Yeah, it'll Grogu on you. What's Grogu backwards?
Yeah, well, you don't like
Greg Turner.
You don't like Grogu now, but when Vegeta shows up, you're really gonna hate him.
Vegeta, isn't that Dragon Ball?
That don't you hear Goku when you hear Grogu?
Yeah,
That's the one
absolutely.
part that
That's
I did.
exactly what I thought she said in the first place. I'm like, wait, I'm pretty sure that's somebody
His
else's
name,
name.
his name is
His
Goku.
name is Goku.
He's a huge Dragon Ball fan.
It turns out it is Goku. Like somehow he
Mhm.
de-evolved into a little green froggy person with big ears.
He's supremely enamored with 20th century history. That's why. It's 21st century history. Oh my gosh. Or 20th century history for
Yeah,
sure.
I've been going on and on and on about my theories about the things she says to him, which I'll spare this show on because of everybody has their theories about what's going to happen next. But I was hanging on her every word. Let's put it that way of what she was telling him, and I feel like there's some hidden stuff going on in what she's telling him.
Now,
That makes sense. I mean, that's kind
For-
of par for the course.
Format for you.
From my
what
point
do
of
you
view.
think? Yeah, from what do you think? Because you have very strong opinions about it. Some of these people on this panel don't
thought it was
agree
all
with
right.
your opinions.
I thought it was
Uh-huh.
all right. I didn't think it was like amazing. I mean, it was neat to see Ahsoka Tano do her thing with the
Mhm.
little ninja Jedi action. That was pretty neat. Walking in and out of the mist. But the payoff at the end felt really lame. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, they are building, aren't they? So that could be something.
But to Format's point though, like I say that I'm all about the fan service. Everybody knows that I'm all about the fan service, and but I understand Format's point that it's hard when it doesn't completely stand on its own. Like when they said, they expect them to say a single name and the audience just gasps. Like if you're watching the movies, nobody knows who Thrawn is, and then they end the episode by saying Thrawn, and everybody's expected to know what that means, and then most of the people have to go Google it, or if you haven't watched Rebels, then
First of all, it's Google it. All right.
No.
And at
Okay.
this, I'm gonna have to get another beer, man. At this, like it's
Todd, get another beer.
Oh, who's getting a call right now? Really?
it's
so
James.
fun.
Hey, first of all, James Savani's an important man. He can get a call. It's fine. Who knows who's calling? So I'm assuming Alika, you were impressed with this episode.
Well, I mean, there's a pretty basic formula that the Mandalorian goes on, and they play on a lot of things that people enjoy, and I really love the imagery. They did the Toshiro Mifune side-by-side comparisons afterwards, and there's always stuff like that for each episode, like westerns or samurai movies or whatever. So there's great imagery. Obviously, it's well filmed, well made. But the magistrate and having to know the history of the importance of that, why she might have the Beskar spear, why she would be a match for a Jedi in a fight, and the things that if you had watched Rebels wouldn't be such a mystery, but if you're just watching the main movies and The Mandalorian, which I feel like it's safe to assume a lot of people are in that camp where they're just watching the movies and The Mandalorian, and they haven't watched the Clone Wars, they haven't read extended universe books, they haven't read any of the current comics. So it's hard. Like the story doesn't necessarily stand completely on its own. You kind of need to know more to understand and get the impact of some of the moments they set up.
Well, here's the thing I was curious about, and you guys can all answer this since you guys are all Star Wars fans, especially James Savani. I thought that when we started this adventure with Disney a few years ago, that they said that all of the extended universe stuff was not canon. I thought that they had also said they weren't going to use it. So is this one of the reasons?
They doubled back on that.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. So
they
is this
definitely-
are the sequels the reason why we're getting the extended universe that we always wanted anyway? That we thought had good stories. I mean, look, Ahsoka Tano talking about Thrawn. I find it interesting. I don't know if this is a backpedal or if it's a move forward into more what fans wanted. But I mean, James, for you, McClunky. James, for you, do you think this is a backpedal for them because they were so adamant about not using any of the extended universe at the beginning, but now they seem to be laying right into that? Do you think it's good, number one, and do you think number two? Do you think they should have done this from the start?
I think it's that they own the IP anyway. You know, they still now whatever was the extended universe is part of Star Wars Legends.
Correct, Legends, right?
Yeah, so they own all this stuff. And it's like, well, you know, we'll do it now. You'll notice that none of the stuff that was in Legends they've used in the same way it was before. You know, they didn't introduce Thrawn until after the Return of the Jedi, the original trilogy time period, and now they brought him back. He was introduced in the Rebels timeline.
Got it.
And then the things that they introduced, I think it was 2 episodes ago, when Moff Gideon was, you know, talking about his plans. You could see the Dark Troopers in the background. Which were also part of the extended universe, but this is introducing them all in different ways. So I think it's just taking ideas that they had and using them in new ways and you know, giving them a fresh start, because there was some good ideas in the extended universe.
And that for me was what was interesting. There are so many great ideas to farm from the extended universe that's
the point, though, is they own the IP and the extended universe exists, but it's almost like all of the focus group testing has been done, and you kind of know who's going to be a hit and whose people are eagerly awaiting. Like, you know, now people are talking about Revan somehow showing up, which is a major extended universe fan favorite, and you know, it's just like it's already been tested with the Star Wars audience, the people who would be likely to.
Really, I'd love to talk to the audience. I'd love to talk to the audience that thought Rey was a good idea.
I'm thinking Mara Jade's going to show up any episode now.
Yeah,
that would be so sick. But I don't know how you'd work. How would you work Mara Jade in though?
They'll find
you know.
I really thought she was going to show up in Solo. Like that was, I was convinced that was going to happen. But
that who?
Mara Jade was going to show up in Solo somehow.
No.
They need to get Tag and Bink in there.
Because they were stuffing extended universe stuff, and you're just like, oh, might as well toss something else in there.
Yeah,
Tag and Bink were already on the show, Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
Yeah,
Todd. Calm down.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm not watching.
Tag was one that punched Baby Yoda in the face, remember?
You watched the first season, Todd.
So here's my question. For all you guys, I mean, Kai, you watched it too. You watched this episode, right?
Yes.
Performance-wise, how was Rosario Dawson's performance as Ahsoka Tano? Was she good? Do you think that she is good? Is she a good fit for the role? Do you like her performance in this? What do you think?
I think it's perfectly fine. I mean, we could have had the original voice actor play it, since we had the original voice actor play Bo-Katan, but then I think she looks perfect. She looks like an older, more.
Yeah, she looks like an aged up Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah. How about you, Alika? You think she was good?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that I didn't know Katie Sackhoff was the voice of Bo-Katan in the series.
I know we blew your mind last week about that.
Well,
I didn't even.
She looks the character. She looks the part, and so it's like, did they design the character after her as the voice actress, or maybe that's how that worked out? But
I heard a little bit.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
totally.
You
should have seen who they modeled General Grievous after.
I just, you know, I couldn't see every character being like that. The voice actors from Rebels or Clone Wars or whatever. So
right.
Everybody could picture us Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. As soon as they mentioned it, everybody was like, "Yes, of course," you know. So
Kirsten in the chat brought up a good point that I didn't know about.
She actually admitted she was fan casted into the show.
Did people actually hate Ahsoka Tano at first? I don't remember that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
Interesting.
When Clone Wars,
right.
if you've ever gone back and watched the Clone Wars movie.
You know what? Yeah, she was not good in the Clone Wars movie.
Like, there's no setup. She just kind of walks out of the trailer during a battle, and you're just like, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, I didn't realize. I now remember sitting in the theater watching that movie, the animated movie, and thinking, this is not good.
Don't lie. Nobody went to the theater.
I did. I went to the theater to watch it. I was in the theater. You want to know how I know I was in the theater? Because I fell asleep watching that movie. I had to watch it again.
So that was you snoring when I was.
That was me snoring. Yes. It was totally me. So overall, we've got 3 episodes left, and it seems like the consensus here is that this was a pretty darn good, solid episode of Mandalorian.
Finally.
So
Yeah,
finally.
Well, I'm still waiting for my Mayfeld payoff, man. They promised me some more Mayfeld this season.
We might get him at the end.
Wow, interesting.
He was
Maybe
Mayfeld was
we'll finally get to see Space Boston.
Did you guys see the King of Staten Island?
No,
I haven't. I have not watched it. Why?
Watch that though.
He's got a giant Dr. Roboto like mustache in that.
Yeah, I saw that part.
I thought
Oh,
that
you
was
mean
hilarious.
Bill Burr? Gotcha.
Bill Burr in that movie.
I
yeah,
think
he's
that when he comes back, when Mayfield comes back, he's got to have the mustache.
Do you think they'll CGI out the mustache like they did for
Yeah,
for Superman.
for Superman.
I think they
Yeah.
should CG enhance his mustache.
Just make it 2 feet longer.
Make it even bigger.
How
That
big?
sounds good. The size of a loaf of French bread, at least that big.
That's pretty
Wow. Wow.
big. Would that thick too, Todd?
At least that thick, yeah. It can't be long without being thick. It's got to be thick and long, or else it's not
Boy,
going
did I
to
just walk back?
do
into
any
the wrong part of
damage.
the
Yeah, you
conversation.
did. You shouldn't have come back in. You came in at the wrong time. Anyway, you guys, so far the overall consensus online has been that this was a solid episode. People enjoyed Rosario Dawson's performance as Ahsoka Tano, so that was really cool. And it's nice to see that now, since we're 3 episodes away for the finale.
I
Go
like
ahead.
how when she was on the screen, I didn't immediately say, "Oh, hey, Rosario Dawson."
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
she was. It wasn't Rosario Dawson cosplaying as Ahsoka Tano. It felt like a whole new character.
I think ultimately it's nice that Star Wars fans finally, after so long, have kind of rallied around the Mandalorian, whether for good or for worse. It's nice that
Finally,
fans
what are
that
you
have
talking about?
kept-
People have been locked down on
Well-
the show since it started.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm talking from the beginning. I'm just talking from the beginning of the Mandalorian. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
It's nice that
I
that's
thought you meant
so
like
it's
all
nice.
of a sudden everybody's into it.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. It's just nice to know
Yep.
that that.
All of a sudden, Gannon's a fan. Silvani's
Yeah.
a fan. It's crazy.
No, it's so cool that the guys that were fans that kept us alive from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s to 2000 to the 10s to the 20s. They
There
finally
apparently
have.
were a bunch of Groku come latelys.
Yeah, they were Groku completely.
Oh god.
By the way, that's the name of the podcast. Thank you, James Silvani. Really
I feel like we
appreciate
might
it.
get in trouble.
Groku come lately. That's fantastic. Anyway,
Somebody
As we
just
all
wants to put that in an algorithm is what he wants to do.
now, with that in mind, knowing that we have just a little side note on the Star Wars stuff, not only do we have Cassian Andor in the works. Do you think the success of the Mandalorian? You guys think that maybe they may decide to restart the Boba Fett movie that they were talking about before the Han Solo or the Solo debacle? Do you think
Boy,
because
am I
of the
glad you brought
Mandalorian?
this up.
Are you?
Yeah. No, they're not going to do that.
No. Oh, all right.
I am convinced that was not Boba Fett that we saw
What? Really?
in that first episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey. Okay.
Which Which
At
clone trooper do you think it is?
one
You
point
gotta
in the
consider,
galaxy,
there's like 1,000 of him running
there
around
was
right
8
now.
million of that guy.
Yeah,
that looked
yeah.
exactly like him walking around the galaxy at one time. To think,
Yeah, so that one's JoJo Fett.
Bobby Fett. Yeah.
But the other thing is, you're left to assume it's Boba because he's a clone and he's looking longingly at his armor as Din Djarin makes away with it. So, I mean, like, that's the assumption we're left to make.
That's-
I
Obviously,
don't know
That's the
about
assumption.
looking longingly.
I'm
at the
thinking
armor.
that's a red herring.
More like he
Go
was
by.
looking at the twin suns in the distance and
Mhm.
wondering how much longer it would take for his tan to come in.
he's just looking at the twin suns and being like, "Damn, my boy Obi-Wan killed Darth Maul under these suns, bro."
So
He didn't kill Darth
James.
Maul there though.
Yeah.
So James, you don't think number one that was Boba Fett? That's kind of a big revelation because everybody's clinging to it being Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So, and you don't even think that this could revive a movie that we were going to get.
Yeah. I know all I need to know about Boba Fett. Din Djarin's my Mandalorian now.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Did Boba Fett-
Bo-Katan. I'll take that Mandalorian over Boba Fett any day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like thanks to Clone Wars and Rebels, we do have like hundreds of better Mandalorians than any of the Fets, you know. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, they always
Plus,
die.
plus, to be honest, to be fair, in 2020, Boba Fett's ship the ship's name is definitely a problem.
don't
So,
say it.
yeah.
Don't say it. You're gonna get canceled.
Nope, not gonna say it.
What's wrong with
Not-
Slave 1?
Oh, there it is. Gannon's gonna get canceled.
Well, first
Can't-
Why?
I said Slave 2.
It's a word. It's not implying anything specific.
Man,
It's not as bad as Orion's slave girl.
that's fair too. All right. Well, it's nice to know that now. Listen, as long as James' stamp of approval is on the Mandalorian, I think I'm good. And I think I'm okay without a Boba Fett movie if James thinks that this is the guy that takes the mantle.
I mean,
I'm
were
okay.
you not, James? Can I ask, were you not excited to see the Boba Fett armor at least in the crawler and on that?
Hey,
dude?
you could put Timothy Oliphant in a diaper and I'd be happy.
I don't know, man. Did you
All
watch
right,
him in Die Hard
sweet.
4?
I don't know. Have you seen Justified?
Oh
he's
yeah,
in,
loved
he's
it.
in a lot less than a diaper.
He's in
That guy.
good stuff, but he's in bad stuff too.
I don't know. I mean, he's always going to be that guy the drug dealer from Go for me. I mean, he's amazing in Go.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. Timothy Oliphant's a great actor. I like him a lot.
He's
So
always gonna be the killer in Scream 2 to me.
yeah.
Well,
All right. Well, listen, we could turn this into a Timothy Olyphant special if you'd like.
We
I mean, I
can.
love Deadwood. I love Deadwood. So I mean,
Well, hey, well,
You have Deadwood.
I feel like you're winding down a little bit on the Star Wars, so I want to.
we are.
I want to ask before we close out. Did anybody watch the Lego Holiday Special, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special?
Unfortunately,
I did not because I heard it was terrible, which I'm really bummed out about
I mean,
because
if you're gonna be watching,
It's
it
great
and
if you're
comparing it
5.
to if you're watching like and comparing to the Mandalorian, then yes, of course you're gonna be. But if you're just like going into it to have fun, it's called the Star Wars Holiday. Anything called the Star Wars Holiday Special, you should already know not to be taking it seriously.
why don't they just
I mean,
put
it's
up the
Lego,
original
duh.
holiday special on Disney Plus? Why don't they just
No.
remaster that and put that up? What's
Just go
the
to
problem?
Etsy
We
and
don't-
buy a bootleg, man.
yeah.
I was actually hoping that it was gonna be that special in Lego, but it wasn't.
It was. Yeah, that would have been
would've
cool.
We could have
And-
finally
and-
got Lego B. Arthur.
Was Ray in it?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, here,
Oh,
this
man,
is
was-
the entire new sequel cast.
Gee,
Sweet.
this is gonna trigger you.
And
man.
you want
This
to
is
hear
gonna
something
trigger you.
funny?
She was
Kelly Marie Tran was available for it. Isn't that weird?
Oh, and is Ray still the bestest Jedi ever in the galaxy?
but
Like
she's-
ever?
Yes, but
training-
just like always, she has doubts.
Oh, great.
she's training.
She's like
Finn,
Neo.
by
I'm
the
a
way.
god, but am I a god really?
I don't know if any of you follow Mark Hamill's Twitter feed, but he somebody tweeted that to him today saying, "Was that your voice in the thing?" And he goes, "No, they didn't ask me."
Wow.
Wow.
Why? I mean, Mark's Who needs to ask Mark Hamill? He's, you know what? He's not even a great voiceover actor. Come on. Why would Disney want to use that guy?
MacGyver.
Yeah. Why would they ask Mark Hamill? I mean, his life has only been Star Wars and voicing characters on television programs. I don't know. It's weird.
You ever heard him do Harrison Ford?
Yes.
He does an
Yeah.
amazing impression of Harrison Ford. It's great.
I don't sound anything like that. Yeah, I've heard it. It's pretty great. Anyway, speaking of Star Wars, before we do get off Star Wars, we do have to remember a gentleman by the name of David Prowse, who passed away yesterday.
Who's eating carrots?
David Prowse, of course, is the man that was
David
in
Prowse
the
is
Darth.
eating carrots.
He was the man in the Darth Vader suit for those many decades, for those many years and many movies. Shout out to him. He may not have been the
one you
voice.
see at the end of end of Return of the Jedi, though. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But
Not
of
that
course,
guy.
David Prowse was the man who was acting in the suit while James Earl Jones voiced him. Big shout out to David Prowse.
Selfishly took all the credit.
Yeah, yeah, he does actually. He actually kind of does. So now we've.
Was that him as the Force Ghost at the end of the movies?
That was Sebastian Shaw was the actor.
Yeah, that was
did
Sebastian Shaw. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was not David Prowse. But
Gotcha.
Unless you watch the special edition, then it's Hayden Christensen.
right. And who? And
Wait,
everybody
there's
owns
another
the-
edition besides the special edition.
So many
Shut up,
editions,
Todd. Shut
So
up,
many.
Todd. You're so stupid.
Pray tell.
Go watch a Captain America movie. Come on.
Shut up, Todd. Yeah. Anyway, big shout out to him. We send our condolences out to his family. Of course, he is another guy who has kind of defined our attitude and love for Star Wars, and he was
trained with
definitely a big part of
Schwarzenegger.
that. Yeah. Pretty
Train
cool stuff.
Christopher Reeve to be Superman.
Yeah, he did that too.
Bodybuilder of all things.
Wait a minute, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
He shopped at Whole Foods.
Wait a minute. I shop at Whole Foods.
Twinsies.
Oh my God, are you David Prowse?
I maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Greg, I'm sorry. You're not as cool as Dave Prowse.
I know, definitely not. Absolutely not.
Alive or dead.
Well, since
Oh,
we're on the Disney tip, I just want everybody to know that, of course, moving into other Disney programming, as of this week, as of next week, it looks like in New York City they will be starting to film the new Hawkeye series, which I don't think is titled yet. I think it's just going to be called Marvel's Hawkeye. That starts next week, and I'm assuming that should be
Hawkeye
out
and the
late.
Bandit.
Which would be awesome. So it's that's a lot of fun for all you Marvel fans out there. Of course, not only are we getting Hawkeye, but we're also getting I'm assuming they've said it for a long time, we're getting Kate Bishop in the series. So yeah, that's gonna be really cool. So Marvel should be starting that next week. I'm
Imagine the
curious-
actress that was in Endgame thinking it was going to be her, and they go hire someone else.
That is true. But we've got. I'm assuming
I
that.
gotta take my leave here, guys.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Listen, sir. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
coming
much for bringing in your knowledge of Star Wars. You're more than welcome to come back next year.
All right.
I'm kidding. You're more than welcome to come back anytime, my friend. And we
I
certainly
hate
love
to
to
make
have
you
you.
guys look bad, but I'll.
Listen, next time you're on, you have to share. You have to share your collection of Star Wars memorabilia and the things that you have around the house that we'd love to see. I wish people got to see your Mandalorian helmet because that was pretty cool. So,
all right. I'll tell you what. I'll come on after the season finale.
fantastic.
there you
James, where can everybody find you, and what are you working on before you get out of here? What
SylvaniArt.com. That's my website. You can find my store there. Got some artwork. Got some Darkwing Duck comics. All that kind of crap. And I cannot say what I'm working on right now. Hopefully,
Yeah. I
hopefully
think I
sometime
know.
soon.
It's a Boba
Yeah.
Fett book.
No,
Yeah.
no. You
It's
know
the
what?
Return of Darkwing.
Todd, I think Todd ruined it. He told me that you're working on the art for the next Kukui project.
he's offered to do a cover for me, and I'm like,
I'm going
no,
through the
man,
audition process right now.
Wait a minute, you refused James Silvani the cover?
No,
what are you,
I
stupid,
didn't.
Todd?
I
Yeah.
didn't. I said I couldn't.
It's Todd.
I
wouldn't be
couldn't.
surprised.
He gave me like he gave me like a coloring book page, and he goes, "Here, knock yourself out."
Oh my.
I would
Todd,
never
you
disrespect
idiot.
you like that, James. Ever. I
To make
It's
sure you
just-
guys check out James Silvani at Silvani Art on Instagram. Of course, he's a tremendously talented comic book artist. Darkwing Duck. Boom Studios is still producing those comics, correct, sir?
No,
I still have that?
no. That's the IDW is printing them.
IDW, excuse me, IDW. So you can check out James's work. It is amazing, and of course, he lives right here on Maui. So James Silvani, listen, my friend, thank you so much for being on the program tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Big clap and shout out. And if anything big, if you want to come for the finale of The Mandalorian, please come to give us your final thoughts on this season. Okay?
Only if Todd watches it and catches up.
Okay,
I will.
Fair enough.
Will. I've got a absolutely.
Do you need $5? Can I lend it to you?
How about you give me $5 and I'll let you do the cover?
Okay.
All right, James. Thank you so much, my friend. You take care.
You guys have a good
All right. Bye-bye. Anyway, man, I always like James Silvani. And shame on you, Todd, for not letting him draw a cover.
That's not what happened. What I said was, it's not that you're gonna make it look too professional.
Wow. Make it look
Well, think about it. Somebody's going to walk into a shop, see this great cover book, and then when they open it up, they're like, oh, never mind.
You guys are horrible. Don't say that. Hey, Alika, did you hear that? I don't know if you were here for that. James had to go. Did you hear that Todd refused James Silvani the cover of a Cocoon product?
It doesn't surprise me that uppity snob Todd Bernardi refused.
Greg, now that he's not here, I could tell you that I've refused his sexual advances.
Oh my gosh,
don't say that.
So stupid.
You're gonna get him canceled.
Yeah, don't get Todd. No, he's talking about you, Todd. Don't cancel Todd.
You're gonna get me canceled. I mean,
yeah,
well,
don't get him.
if it hasn't happened already, I don't know if it's.
I was gonna say, what reasonable person hasn't already canceled Todd Bernard?
Accurate.
That's very accurate. Now, getting
I thought
into some
that's what all of us are on this show for, because we're all canceled in life, so nobody else will have us.
This is like limbo.
That's why we're here.
After you die, and we don't realize we're all in canceled limbo right now.
Yeah, we're the cancel club.
That's true. Now, just to let you know, in some other interesting news that we haven't really talked about because it literally just happened. Daredevil is officially back at Marvel.
Well, all the Netflix properties are, but yes.
Daredevil being the biggest one. Daredevil is back at Marvel along with Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the Defenders. Daredevil, of course, being and the Iron Fisty guy. Now, with Daredevil being back at Marvel, interestingly enough, apparently there is I don't know how big it is, but it's big enough to make news. There is an online movement that has started for the Daredevil series to be revived under the Disney Plus banner.
They've been doing that since even before Disney got it back in the first place. I think they had like a 2-year moratorium where they couldn't touch it, and now it's fully back to them. But Netflix still owns the show, if I'm not mistaken, just not the licensing or the characters.
Right. No, that is correct. Now, would you fellas like to see Daredevil under the auspices of under Disney Plus? Wow. Well, listen, first of all, big shout out to Ron Cataguy. Ron Cataguy says, wanted to send a shout out to Todd and said, good for you, Todd. Quality control for his comic book cover. Good for you, Ron Cataguy.
Never mind.
Anyway, Daredevil is back at Marvel, and I think that's great. I think hopefully, well, as always with his Marvel stuff, obviously Daredevil is going to be yet another property that they're going to have to kind of, well, at least we hope they're going to have to work into the Marvel universe, because Daredevil is kind of, at least quite pivotal. And in some respects, I think Daredevil going back to Marvel would coax Sony to have the rights of Spider-Man still work with Marvel, because Spider-Man and Daredevil have a history. So that would be kind of fun.
Well, there was a rumor for a while that Daredevil shows up in Spider-Man 3.
Well, that would have been that would be
not
really
necessarily
cool.
Daredevil, but Matt Murdock is like the lawyer for his case, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that would be. I think that would be fantastic.
Peter Parker couldn't afford a real lawyer, that kind of thing.
Right. In this newly revisioned Marvel universe, would Daredevil still be blind?
Yes.
All right, just checking. I wasn't sure.
It had
Now
robot eyes.
that's what I'm saying. Would if you got connected in this Marvel universe to under the banner of Tony Stark Industries, don't you think somebody would have come up with bionic eyes for Daredevil at this point?
Or what about Doctor Strange just magicking his eyes back? How about that?
That would right exactly.
Well, but once you do that, nothing in comics makes sense because everybody can fix everything. So why even worry about these limitations?
And would Daredevil be a guy that says?
Are we really worried about like Marvel movies? You know,
oh man, you came back at the wrong time, Todd. Yeah.
Doctor Strange, thanks for the offer, but I kind of like not seeing.
Exactly. Why would Daredevil ever turn down the opportunity to see? Would he do that?
I'm sure they've done it in the comics.
All right. That's fair. I think
it's like Mephisto was like giving everybody all kinds of crap, and I'm sure Daredevil was like, "Nah, don't worry about it."
I'm this great crime fighter because I can't see because justice is blind.
Right. Look. What if we give you the eyes and you can see, but when you fight crime, you can wear a blindfold? That. Listen,
that's freaking stupid.
Well, that sounds like the Marvel way.
Let's get Dan Todd on writing that storyline.
Oh yes,
but you know what's funny about that though? They do stuff like that in Marvel already in the movies because Don Cheadle gets paralyzed, and then like the very next time you see him, he's already walking with robotic limbs. So
robotic limbs, exactly.
So he didn't even have to suffer at all for it.
I'm pretty sure that's still suffering.
He's kind of already walking at the end of the movie. He just doesn't,
Hey, Gannon, can I?
So getting hurt doesn't matter now.
Mechanic legs, like, is that equal to not getting your back broken? Pretty sure he would have preferred not to have his spine shattered.
Yeah,
but, whatever.
That's true. That's also true.
They're the same thing.
Just because he's got mechanical legs doesn't mean he can feel anything below the waist.
I'm sure Tony Stark had a fix for that too. Come on now, guys.
I think Tony Stark has got a fix for everything. I mean, look,
figured out time travel while washing the dishes. Of course he did.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tony Stark could do anything. I mean, Tony Stark's a regular Bruce Wayne. It's what he is. So that's for sure. Anyway,
at least Bruce Wayne would have had enough sense to be like, "Hey, Clark, why don't you do the snap? That way, I don't have to die."
That's true. It's very true. Anyway, Daredevil, like I said, back at Marvel. Hopefully, they do something with the property, which I'm sure they will. But also in the news. Jeez, what was it? What was I going to say? Oh, we knew that about a week and a half ago, we knew that Wonder Woman will be coming to theaters and to HBO Max, December 25th.
For no added cost if you have HBO Max.
That's correct. Plus. Yeah, suck it, Disney Plus. But HBO Max made another announcement as of today that, and this is for all of you cinephiles out there, that Wonder Woman 1984 will officially be the first movie on that HBO Max platform to not only be in 4K, but also Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. None of the content on there is 4K, so this will be the first time ever we'll see a movie.
Greg, I gotta stop you there. What does any of that crap mean for people that don't care?
If anybody on this program does not know what 4K and HDR and Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos is,
stuff like Atmos and whatever
other
garbage you're talking about. I don't know.
I use a CRT
what does that mean?
with my 8-bit graphics. I don't give a flip about that.
How dare you? How are you not going to watch something in 4K like Wonder Woman?
My televisions are powered by.
I actually want to see it in like super VHS because that would be.
Do you?
That would make more sense if it takes place in 1984.
Well,
I want to see mine on
really
Betamax.
Crappy, grainy VHS.
All right, that's fair. of course, not too much news this week. We're getting into a very slow. Normally, it'd be a holiday movie season, but unfortunately, there is no holiday movies or Christmas movies that are coming out. But there are Christmas movies and holiday movies that are coming to streaming, and that cycle has officially started as of this week. So, why don't we talk a little bit about pandemic TV viewing this week? Anything exciting anybody's watched?
Lighthearted fare.
Heck yeah. Pandemic TV viewing. Anybody watching anything?
About shows about the pandemic? What about that one that Michael Bay did? That one seems like a horrific thing to do to society.
That's not
out.
That's not out yet.
What did he do? He made Bad Boys 4, but it's a horror movie or something?
Hey, stop it. No, well, I do know that Kurt Russell, for TV viewing, Kurt Russell's brand new Christmas movie has hit Netflix, Christmas Chronicles 2. So if you're interested in seeing Kurt Russell as Santa Claus, you can watch the second, the sequel to Christmas Chronicles is now on Netflix. And by the way, Kurt Russell has officially did an interview saying that he wants to play Santa Claus until the end of his career. So yeah, go figure.
So next year we'll be able to see him in the mall. Just
I don't know what the hell that means, but if he wants to keep
dream to accomplish,
if he wants to keep playing Santa, more power to him. I love Kurt Russell. I could watch him mop floors. He's that fun to watch. So
is that what you're thinking his career's headed? Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely not. I'm just saying that if I could watch him mop floors, I would.
From the guy who was Walt Disney's dying word to mopping floors.
That's right. Carlo Mano says Hallmark Channel has some good Christmas movies. Never turned on the Hallmark Channel. Right. Not even. I don't even know if that exists in this household.
I've watched a couple Hallmark movies. I mean,
are they bad?
They're
as good as Lifetime movies.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Greg, let's put it this way: Lacey Chabert would not have a career if it wasn't for the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, stop it! She would.
Lifetime movies are actually a little better.
No, Lacey Chabert could be in any porn that she wants to be. What do you mean?
Stop it, Todd.
It's true.
Stop it, Todd. That's terrible.
I'm waiting for her to start her OnlyFans account.
Are we not allowed to talk about that?
No.
Hey, did we ever talk about how Michael B. Jordan started an OnlyFans account for charity?
No.
Who's on it? Don't act.
I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
I read about this online somewhere. He started an OnlyFans account to help out some kind of charity. I don't remember what the charity is.
No way.
There is no way that you only read about it. You are sub. Send us some pictures.
Okay, I'm gonna look for this.
Also, just to let you know, the Netflix series, The Holiday Movies That Made Us, is out now. I don't know. At least it's highlighted because it's Christmas season. But The Holiday Movies That Made Us is out now, and the movies that they are highlighting are two right now in particular, and that is Elf and Nightmare Before Christmas. So if you're a fan of any of those two, it's available. So those are the two documentaries. That'll be kind of fun. Anyway, so if you're into anything, any new movies, also if you are interested as well, I know it has not come out yet, but it's starting to get a little more play because our very own Aron, the man who is the Maui Watch movie reviewer, Aron, you know the guy, the guy with the sack of hard media. He did an official review for the Pixar, the latest Pixar movie, Soul, which will be hitting Disney Plus at no extra cost, mind you, on December 23rd. So if you are interested, you can read his review at MauiWatch.com under movie reviews. Aron's movie reviews has his review of Soul, and from what I see, it looks like he thinks it's fantastic, and it's another feather in the cap of Pixar. So if you're interested, check it out because that'll be on the 23rd of December. And as of tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow, if you have Disney Plus, you will be able to watch Mulan without the $29.99 premiere access. So just if you missed it, it will be available, I believe, tomorrow. So Mulan, if you are interested, you can check that out. As of the 2nd, I believe, of December. I think it's the 2nd or the 3rd. I can't remember which, but it's early on in the cycle of December. By the way, I am floored that we are officially in the Christmas season. This is nuts. So I it doesn't even feel that way to me at all. So I mean, it still feels like it's April to me. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, anything you guys are watching right now that you guys would like to, that you're interested in, or you think people would be interested in? Phormat? You watching anything?
What? Oh,
You watching anything lately?
No,
Nothing, huh?
no. I got back in the World of Warcraft. That's about it.
Well, we'll talk about that momentarily because I got some games to talk about. So yes, we'll get into that. Alika, you watching anything on Hulu lately or Disney Plus that you would recommend?
I think, obviously Mandalorian, but I haven't watched any more of Marvel 616. Those first 2 episodes, though, we already went over, were great. There was another some animated series that's on Hulu that I started revisiting. I can't even remember. There's a couple that I'm revisiting, though. Obviously, Venture Brothers is one, and then there was another series that I just started up again that I wanted to just go over the entire season, but it must not have been that great because I can't remember it.
Can't remember it. Oh, but did you finish that Hulu program, A Teacher? Did you finally finish that?
Oh, there's a new episode this week. I don't know. Now, I mean, remember I said that the first 2 episodes were like, I didn't know if it was taking the subject matter seriously. Like, I've watched episode 4 and 5, and it just takes a turn. It just like nosedives right into it. So it's like super heavy now, and now I'm like nervous to watch the next episode. It was like episode 5 ended on a super heavy note, and then I'm just like, I don't know.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be uncomfortable. I guess I'm relieved it's more uncomfortable now than it was when it started, but yeah. I mean, the acting is great. The production value, of course, is great.
Right. Somebody on there. I've been noticing a couple comments online about A Teacher, and there were people, I mean, in our peer group that were saying that they were uncomfortable with the fact that they were kind of rooting for those two.
I think that's part of it. I think they want to bring the audience down that way. Because it starts as like a quote unquote romantic connection. And the student is over 18, so that you're not a complete villain if for watching it. But
right.
At the same time, she's his teacher, and it's not it's not an appropriate or healthy relationship. So it's weird because the guy they got to play the kid is good looking. Kate Mara is not bad looking herself. So it's like you kind of forget about who they're playing sometimes. They do have some chemistry on screen, but at the same time, when you remember what you're watching and what they're supposed to be, then it automatically gets more uncomfortable after that.
So with that in mind, are the wise words of Van Halen, "Hot for Teacher," no longer viable in this day and time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a no.
All right, just checking. Well, listen, speaking of other interesting fare, before I forget, we talked about last week Animaniacs, the new Animaniacs series getting into a little bit of hot water with their Johnny Depp jokes. Well, they actually pulled one of the episodes.
Yeah, but not over the Johnny Depp joke.
No. That's I was just saying that there's another little controversy brewing. So, Todd, what happened with that? Do you know?
I don't know.
Why'd you ask Todd?
Well, because I thought Todd was watching it.
I haven't watched it.
So you know what? Shut up, Todd. I'm not supposed to ask you.
There's things like King of the Hill and Taxi reruns. That's what I watch.
That's fair. Phormat, did you get to watch Animaniacs, and do you know what happened?
Yeah, in one of the bits, they did kind of like how they parodied like commercials and stuff, and they throw up random numbers just for the phone number. Well, the phone number that they listed was an actual one that went to a like phone sex.
Oh man!
No.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas
Who called it?
to
Who
us.
called it?
Oh my god.
Everybody fess up. Who called it?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I didn't see it, so they took it down. So I'm assuming they're gonna have to rewrite it.
It's weird because I thought they used that 555 nonsense, but I guess they don't anymore.
No, I guess not. That is
I
weird.
mean, I have the number memorized because it's that easy a number to, like, you know what I mean? It's like, man, that's such a throwaway number, and
all right, let me.
Somehow it's an actual number.
Well, when you posted it in the chat, I thought you were joking because it was so simple.
No, that's the number.
That is the number. That's a sex swine number.
Yeah.
Can I? Should I post it right here and put it up on a banner so everyone can see it?
No,
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. No.
Do it.
Maybe they'll sponsor the show.
Yeah. Look, if you're not going to post the phone number, let me give them a link. It's
I don't-
www. Todd's typing it in.
We should. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna say hello. Yeah, hello. Wow, girl, you nasty. You are a girl, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But you know, we should hold Hulu hostage. Now that we have the phone number, we'll just We'll say, you know, if you want us not to post it, you're gonna have to buy our show, the NERDWatch.
That's fair.
Pretty good. Yeah, that's a good like fundraiser right there.
That's pretty fair. Yeah.
Pay us to not do dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll cut it out or fix it. I'm sure. Anyway, Gannon.
They've already done it.
They did. Oh, it's fixed. It's fixed. Okay, good. Gannon, what about you? Anything interesting? Anything floating your vote? Anything tickling your pickle right now as far as TV viewing?
For some reason, I started watching the Harry Potter movies again, and I don't understand how kids got into it.
I thought we couldn't watch that in 2020. I thought J.K. Rowling was canceled.
Why don't you? You don't like it?
Well, I'm watching it. I'm thinking to myself, it's not a very energetic series. Like, it's very talky. It's very story driven. There's not, it's not a lot to actually keep kids engaged. So, but it's also not written in such a way. I mean, maybe the first one was, but it's not written in such a way that children would get on board with dialogue, if that makes sense.
Well, to be fair,
like,
to
once
these
you hit
children,
the second or third movie, like it's pretty dramatically based and very story driven and not a lot of acting. And there is actually it's a little weak.
But the
accents draw you in.
The series grew up
What?
with the kids.
The accents draw you in. I agree.
Oh no! What I mean is, I was picturing myself being a 5-year-old. Like, would I get into this as a 5-year-old?
No, but you see, this was for young adults. This wasn't for 5-year-olds. I'd say this is from
But
what?
you saw a lot of younger, really younger kids watching this stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
True. I agree with that. Todd, what were you going to say?
That's where I was coming from. I mean, they're great. They're great movies. I dug them. I still dig them. But yeah,
I was just going to say that the movies grew up with people. Like you got to remember there was a year or two in between these movies, so. If somebody was 9, 10, 11 watching the first one, they're 12, 13, 14. And by the fourth one, they're in high school. And so they probably got into the books and they read the books. And so the movies are a lot less talkier than the books,
That is also a good point, Todd. I didn't think of it that way. The books are very deliberately laid out. There's a lot of exposition.
In the case of a book, though, you can build what the world is like in your mind.
That is also true.
You can lend your imagination to it a lot better, whereas with a movie, it dictates that to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the movie's going to do its best to articulate what the book is conveying. But like when you read a book, what you might build in your mind, what the book was explaining to you, is going to be different than what Phormat might get out of it than I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody creates the world in their brain differently depending on what the information they're given is.
Ask Alika his picture of what a Slaughterhouse 5 looks like.
Not the. Wait, was there even a movie of Slaughterhouse 5? There wasn't.
Of course there was. Yes, by George Roy Hill. Don't you remember that in the late 70s? I think early 80s.
No, like all those
early 80s.
Like all the movie adaptations of those, high school reading list books. They never really, because there was a Fahrenheit 451 movie too, and that was like, I don't think anybody envisioned the book to be like that. The 60s, it was like this weird, it
was a French film, actually. It was a French film.
Yeah, but the style they filmed it in was quite. They took a lot of liberties, And then,
sure.
And then the next version we got was the Michael B. Jordan version. I haven't watched that. I actually was kind of eager to see what they did with it, but I also heard they didn't get.
I heard it was trash. I heard it was terrible. Yeah.
The book was such a good concept, and the book was so well written that, Ray Bradbury, you can't beat Ray Bradbury, but I still think that done right, it could be pretty good live action. But all those early makes of movies, like to do a Vonnegut movie, you'd need today's technology. There's just too much off the wall science fiction stuff going on in any given Vonnegut book for it to. Like they did Breakfast of Champions, and Bruce Willis was in that. That was in the 90s, and even that, as close to Vonnegut as and Vonnegut was alive and he was on set for that one. But I just as a reader, it didn't really. And I'm a Lucas Haas fan. I'm a Bruce Willis fan. And the movie just did not capture what the book was.
Right.
I think that if they're going to adapt a Vonnegut novel, I think Sirens of Titan would be probably the most incredible step if they did a Sirens of Titan movie. If anybody's read Kurt Vonnegut's Sirens of Titan, it's probably his finest book. His most emotional.
I never read that one.
It's excellent. And the great thing about Vonnegut books is they all happen in the same universe. A lot of recurring characters, a lot of intersecting timelines and stuff. But to me, that Sirens of Titan is probably one of my favorites.
Well, what's interesting is that we're gonna, speaking of Harry Potter and Kurt Vonnegut, we're actually gonna see another adaptation coming up very soon.
Kurt Vonnegut to Harry Potter, please.
No, we're comparing Kurt Vonnegut to J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling writes in a dumpster compared to Kurt Vonnegut.
She writes in a Scottish castle that costs $10 million.
Yeah.
Well, my one of my favorite sci-fi authors, and the man whose last name, to me at least, sounds French, Frank Hebert, is doing. Of course, we're going to see his latest Dune coming up very soon. We'll see what that world looks like.
American, it's Hibbert.
It's Herbert. It's Hibbert. Fair enough. Fair enough. That is close to being just about finished. That we're going to be seeing that very, very soon.
Are we though?
The first one's done. I think that they're still working on the second one.
But no, I'm talking about when we're actually going to see it. I know photography and principal photography, and I think the effects are done. I think they're cutting it together now, but we're supposed to see the next one here soon, like early next year, I think. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be available when theaters open back up, like in March or April, I'm thinking.
So talking about Dune, I recently had a customer in, and I had just procured a big collection of heavy metal books. If you're familiar with the lore of Dune and all that in the movie, you'll know it has connections to 70s underground artists and writers.
Sure.
Jodorowsky and the Mobius and doing set design and stuff like that. And so it was just a fun visit. I miss having those interactions with customers because he picks up the new Dune House Atreides book. Issue 1 and 2 are out at the shop, and we start talking about how amazing Villeneuve is doing with these 70s reboots and how great 2049 was and how we're excited for Dune. And it kind of led into us talking about heavy metal, which was the first instance of these artists coming to America and getting recognition so if anybody's interested in the original Dune and how that came to be, then they're definitely going to want to check out artists like Mobius and Giger and all that.
Listen, I hate to correct you, but he's not the director that you speak of Dune is not Spanish. He's French. It's Denis Villeneuve. So
Philippe Duvet. Get it. I got it. I don't.
Felipe.
I'm sorry. I'm
Dubé.
bad at. I didn't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Listen, harkening back to what we're talking about, Animaniacs, Daniel Plagle in the chat says if the phone sex line people were smart, they would have someone impersonate the Animaniacs talking dirty to people when they call.
You know what? The world is so nerdy that, well, they already have, e-girls and stuff for that, I guess. But for people who aren't into anime, they should do like really shticky cartoon voices.
And boy, speaking of internet things, if you're into YouTube drama, Pokemon's in a lot of hot water right now.
Pokemon, what is Pokemon?
No! Why did you bring that up?
I was just kidding. I was just kidding. I just wanted to realize how old we were. That's all. I was just
No,
you're
old.
kidding.
I'm getting to the point where that's old for me.
No, anyway. Now
Jesus Christ.
he has nothing to do with it. Or everything to do with it. You decide. Now.
Shut up.
Phormat. Before we get into the hardest of hard medias, Gannon, have that on standby, sir. Phormat. This last couple of weeks going into December 2 have been huge gaming opportunities for those of us that like to game. Winter, fall, late fall, early winter is packed with games. Now, with that in mind, you are doing something different than both me and Gannon are doing. You're getting back into a game that is over a decade old now. That you have been playing for a long time. What's the deal? Are you abandoning consoles because of it?
No, it's just if you know anything about me, this was an attempt to return to a sense of normalcy.
Sure.
Because back when I played WoW, everything made sense, and that's kind of why I wanted to get back into it. The thing, though, is I couldn't. Apparently, one of the previous updates for the game made my video card obsolete. And so a lot of my friends found out, and they made it happen I was like, oh, well, I don't have a way to play it. And I kind of just chalked it up as that.
Right.
Someone gifted me their previous rig, which
wow,
I just
cool.
have to clean out and I'll be able to upgrade it and whatnot, but I'll be able to play. And then I was like, well, now I need to get the game. And then I got a notification through battle.net that someone gifted me the expansion.
Wow.
So wait a minute. So how long have you been gone? Have you been gone since Mr. Pandaria? How long have you been gone? Because there's been the battle for Azeroth.
I've only missed one expansion. I played up until Legion.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Maybe about no, I finished Legion, and BFA was just about to start, and that's when I stopped.
Well, you're going to start playing World of Warcraft, so that means that I should start back up, so I can follow you, and you can just gift me gold, and I can.
Oh, get off your.
That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. So we can run dungeons. You power level.
Yeah.
You power level me, and then you drop all the gold and gear, and I'm in.
Don't do it.
I'm totally freaking in, man. Well, so you know what? I'm happy for you. That's super exciting for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked, especially because it was literally out of my hands. There was no way I was going to be able to play it, and all of the people that I've met along the way, throughout the years, like playing WoW and just in life in general, like they made it happen. Like I'm literally staring at my character right now, and I'm just like, wow.
Well, it's a good thing you're terrible at this game, so people would love to have you back on it.
Dude, shut up.
Well, you know what? We're going to miss you on PS4 for a while. We're going to miss you on the new consoles, but you know what? That's okay.
You almost missed me on the podcast.
I almost you did because you're so interested. World of Warcraft, of course, their latest expansion, Shadowlands, is out as of now. It's a big return because of the Yeah, it's a big return for World of Warcraft because the last expansion, Battle for Azeroth, did not go too well with the fan base. They didn't like the storyline. They didn't like the questing. So Shadowlands is kind of to make up for that. So we will see where it goes from there. So you can check it out. World of Warcraft Shadowlands is available now. And guess what? If you're looking for someone to power you through World of Warcraft,
son of a bitch.
What's that tune's name again? Where can we find you, Phormat?
Well, this tune, my main is Undead Warlock, Horde side. His name is Arcade, ARKADE, on the server of Dragon Maw.
Dragon Maw server, baby. That is right. I got a bunch of stuff still left. I got flying mounts. I've got all kinds of stuff. It's back in my chests. I should get back into this. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway,
are those all things that Phormat gave you? Because it sounds like things that Phormat.
Let me tell you something. Let me. You know what Phormat gave me? He gave me life lessons in World of Warcraft about how to navigate the world, how to. I'm telling you right now, if there is one thing I know about World of Warcraft, it is, and I played it for years. It is not exactly the most friendly game to get into.
Oh, no, it's not.
So, and there are a lot of people that could give a crap about new players. So when you got somebody like Phormat helping you out, getting you used to how to do things in the game, what's the proper etiquette and how to act in these games, it's kind of important, especially with a game like WoW. So, and then, if you pick a character, you've got to learn how to play it. You need to learn rotations. It's really important because if you're running with the wrong people, they'll just kick you out. It's simple as that. So just for those that don't know, Phormat and the rest of the guys were very patient with me because Phormat made it super easy. I was a guy that was a damage dealer because all I had to do was hit things. I'm good. I don't have to dot anything. I don't have to heal nobody. All I got to worry about is attacking the target. That is it. So I'm totally in for that. So anyway, yeah.
It's me running behind G with bandages.
There you go. Yes, exactly.
Exactly. I feel sorry for you, man.
Oh man, it was really fun. I totally missed. I only stopped playing because everyone else stopped playing. So that was the reason why I stopped.
Yeah.
So
I'm such a fan of the game that I was still, even though I had stopped playing, like my subscription was still valid for a year before I finally called it quits. Even though I had not logged in. I'm just such a big fan of the game, and even after I did that, like it felt like I was like stabbing a friend in the back, like no.
I to be fair, I cheated on World of Warcraft. I'm actually very much a fan of Elder Scrolls Online now, so I that's kind of taking its place.
Nothing wrong with that, dude.
I really like
the game.
Yeah, I like it. Anyway, speaking of gaming, there's another man who games in this chat or in this on this program. The man who is Gannon, our Dark Knight. You had an opportunity to finish. Did you finally finish Spider-Man Miles Morales? Gannon, come in over. Are you there? I think Gannon is. Huh?
It looks like he's sleeping.
It does look like he's sleeping.
I think he's frozen.
Is he frozen?
I could draw a dick on his face from over the internet.
Oh, yeah. Are you back, Gannon? Gannon, are you back? No,
he
he's
woke
not
up
back.
when he heard dick.
Gannon is back. He's moving. Okay, now we can hear you. Gannon? Yeah, okay. So, Gannon,
That's fair.
Did you get a chance to finish Spider-Man Miles Morales?
Dude, I finished that the weekend it came out. I feel like I talked about that.
Did you?
Did
you? Okay.
Don't you remember it made him cry?
Oh, that's right. It made him cry. That's right. So what are you playing now? What's on your what's on the playlist now that you finished Miles Morales?
I've run on Red Dead. Red Dead 2. Just play.
Oh, Red Dead 2.
We're losing Gannon.
He's-
What is going on?
What is happening, Gannon? We can't hear you.
I'm not
dude.
frozen. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're definitely frozen. So you're starting to you're finally playing Red Dead? He's frozen.
We lost Gannon.
We lost Gannon. All right. Well, that you know what that means? That means I better bring up the Blu-ray
I'm
releases
here.
for the week.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, it's like you're narcoleptic and you keep falling asleep when we ask you questions. Anyway,
That's awesome.
Gannon, if you're still there, you said that you have
Yeah.
been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Is that correct?
Say that again.
Red Dead Redemption 2. You said you're playing it right now?
Well, I've just been throwing it on just to play poker lately.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know how to play poker, but
Now,
I like
yeah. Oh, nice. I like playing. I like playing poker in games, not at actual tables. So I'm with you on that.
I like to poke people.
Stop
I
it.
bet you did.
Myself, I have been deeply engrossing myself in the new Assassin's Creed. Still seems to be a very long game. According to Ron Cadigai, he's been absent for a long time. A man that's a good friend of the show. He says, "Man, I miss this quality entertainment." Well, thank you, Ron. I certainly do. I certainly appreciate that, and I know that Ron is not being sarcastic at all. So thank you,
He's
Ron.
being
I certainly do appreciate it. Yeah.
Catagastic.
Anyway, yeah, I do.
Catagastic.
I do know that I've been immersing myself in the new Assassin's Creed. Hey, listen, your dinner's done. It's in the microwave.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Not only Assassin's Creed, but as of tomorrow, as of the 3rd, Ubisoft is bringing out their new game called Immortals: Phoenix Rising. It is the Assassin's Creed Legend of Zelda clone, which they had put together. That'll be coming out this Thursday.
Oh, what a bummer! I was expecting an attorney at law spin-off or something.
It was the Gods and Monsters
Ace Wright.
program, but yeah, so you can check that out. That'll be this week. I'm going to try and get my hands on that and play it. But of course, most importantly, we are 9 days away from the biggest, most hyped game in the last at least 10 years. We are
Pac-Man
getting
6.
Pac-Man 6. You're not going to want to miss out on. No, I'm just kidding.
It took them that many years to get to 6.
Cyberpunk 2077 is finally hitting consoles.
Too big.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge. Number one, they've also not only they said the single player is on the way. They say late next year they're also adding in the multiplayer, which is going to be huge. So that's going to be another thing as well. So we've got something else. Big shout out to the man Dwayne Chiavikane. DJ Chiavikani, he says, "Hi guys, DJ Chiavikani, the man who's the creator of Exilion. He had a little signing party over at Enjoy Comics over on the Big Island, man.
Yeah,
Why are you saying it that way?
That's because that's how you say it, right? Big Island. No? Okay. So yeah, if you want to check out DJ Chiavikani's comics, all you need to do is contact Todd Bernardi, and he'll get you in touch with DJ Chiavikani for those comics. Right, Todd?
Right.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. Anyway, so I got to tell you something. This gaming season, although Cyberpunk is the biggest game, I will say that the games that we have gotten so far are not the greatest. I don't know where Todd went. He's gone now.
I know, man. WoW's pretty awesome.
Well, wow. That's because you have a unmitigated inherent bias. So, but I understand. I completely understand.
Whatever.
Anyway, anyway, before we get out of here, let's share this. I want to put this on the screen here, and the one and only Gannon, give us what's coming out this week, my friend. What's new this week in
your face.
Super Blu-ray Tuesday, buddy?
We're getting new editions of Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies, extended and theatrical.
Nice.
Supposedly they got rid of that god awful what was it? However many frames per minute format he shot the first Hobbit movies in. Apparently,
24 frames per second.
Yeah, apparently they jettisoned that, so it won't look like that anymore. Beverly Hills Cop 4K is coming out.
Yes.
The Golden Child is getting a collector's edition from Paramount, also as well coming to America.
What?
And
I'm in for that.
Blade 4K.
Why, is that a good one? I don't know if
Well,
that's a good one.
I think this might be a Best Buy exclusive. I'm not sure, but there looks to be a box set. I guess it is a steelbook for the Lord of the Rings set. Criterion's thrown out Crash, but this is the Cronenberg one, I think.
Oh, Crash, the Cronenberg one.
Cronenberg one, not the other one where everybody's racist. Trading Places. Paramount.
Love that movie.
Re-release.
Love it.
If you're an animation fan, we got Bugs Bunny. That set is. I have zero idea.
Which one is that? The Bugs Bunny one? Bugs Bunny 80th anniversary.
It's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Chernobyl, if you like that series, I was a huge fan of it. That's getting a 4K release. Top Gun is also getting a 4K release. Coming to America is getting a 4K release. Mission Impossible, the original series, is coming out on Blu-ray from 66 to 73.
Mm-hmm.
Crouching Tiger also getting a 4K. This one will be fun if you like your deep cut movies. DC Cab is coming out on Blu-ray.
Yes, DC Cab.
Favorite movie. Professional in 4K.
I originally saw DC Cab on Betamax.
Alika's favorite movie, DC Cab.
There you go.
It was good, man.
That's how deep cut that gets.
Yep. What else comes out?
And then we talked about this way.
Which one?
Arrival in the Barbarians.
Oh, the Barbarian. Yes, that comes out today. Sweet. I want this. I want that movie.
Should be able to order it now. Arrival. I thought this is on 4K, so I don't know if this is a re-release. It probably is.
Yeah.
The Rental, which is a fun, not fun movie, but it's a pretty decent horror movie. From Dave Franco. It's his directorial debut. Shop Factory's putting that out.
Nice.
We're getting a Perry Mason complete first season. That's the new show.
Correct.
And then going right along.
The Perry Mason show, they missed a huge opportunity not using Ozzy Osbourne's Perry Mason song as a theme song. It's such a good
Wasn't Robert Downey Jr. supposed to do that show?
Yeah, he was. I think you're right. I think he was.
All right, moving on along, I guess.
Yeah.
Never Hike in the Snow. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard some things about it, so I'll probably get around to that one eventually. With
is it because of all the
PS5
is that why you don't hike
coming out, Sony is shoving out a bunch of port. Hello?
Yeah, we're here. What's up? Finish up.
Oh no, somebody's talking over me, so I don't know if I had to stop.
No. Go ahead. What? Finish.
Okay, so Sony's throwing out a bunch of 4K editions for the PS5. It's a lot of catalog stuff: Pineapple Express, Venom, Baby Driver, Spider-Man: Far From Home, Into the Spider-Verse, yada yada yada. I don't think there's anything special about it; just fancy packaging for PS5. The Wire Complete series for Blu-ray. I thought that was out already, but if it's not, this is probably a re-release. And other than that, not much. The only one that I left out on purpose. The Popeye 40th Anniversary Edition came out today.
How dare you? Why did you leave that out?
Because I was saving it for the end. Not to mention, we actually have it here. Walmart has it.
What?
Yeah, so if you're a fan of Robin Williams and haven't seen this one before, it's an interesting one. But yeah, we actually have this one at Walmart as we speak. So this might be one not a lot of people have seen for Robin Williams films.
Yeah. There's a couple of special features. Return to Sweet Haven, a look back with Robin Williams and the Altmans, the Popeye Company Players, Popeye's premiere, and the Sailor Man medleys. Not too much. I thought there'd be a little more than that, but okay.
Well,
Not
I
too
mean,
many.
you know, they're doing this after he had passed. I'm sure, you know, had they gotten him while he was still alive, that he would have had some things to say. Probably would have even done a commentary.
Mhm.
But
I got to tell you something. Popeye was one of the strange oddities that, and it was so strange at the time and weird at the time that I really enjoyed it. And I mean, I know it's not a great show, so
watching it as a kid, that was probably one of the most comics accurate movies we got as a kid, just by virtue of Robin Williams and who played Olive Oil. They dressed her up pretty good. She did a good job, I think. I mean, for what they were working with, as a kid, I was like, I liked it. I was impressed. It kept my attention.
Well,
Hey,
you know
I'm
what?
back.
Hey,
Oh,
Todd
great.
Bernardi's back. Yeah,
Ew.
he interrupted. See, you interrupted Alika's segment again as you come back.
That's the reason I came back. I came back at the right moment. I was like, actually, Alika, actually, that was Shelley Duvall, and yes, no.
So wait a minute. Daniel
So do
Plagle in
I.
the chat says originally the director wanted to release a 3-hour cut on home video.
Holy crap.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been cool. That would have been really cool.
Yeah,
that would've been
weird.
Would it though?
Ron Cataguy said on the
I mean, we're saying
on the
praises,
show.
but that movie's not good enough for a 3-hour cut.
Ron Cataguy said on the show I'm working on, the one that he's currently working on, The Great North, he designed a Russian-themed restaurant. On the walls, he put up prominent pictures of Chernobyl. Apparently, the executive producers nixed that, and they also nixed the picture of Stalin I put up. So I was like, okay.
So I guess you just got to put Gorbachev and Putin up there.
No.
When you watch The Great North, make sure to look out for those things that won't be there.
Ron, that means that you've got to put up portraits of the NERDWatch then.
Yes, put up portraits of us.
A true Iron Curtain dictatorship, the NERDWatch.
I want you to know something, Ron Cataguy. I still use your for a long time I used the Captain America shield as my symbol. I now use universally the picture you drew of me as my universal picture now, the animated picture that you sent. So I just want to thank you for that. I love that picture. It looks just like me. And anyway, it's really good. So I use it internationally. It's on my Facebook. It's on my Facebook page. It's on my gamer tags. It's everywhere now. So everyone knows me on that one. I love that one. So, and if you're feeling froggy, you're more than welcome to draw me again. I mean, that's how good you are, I think.
Man, I feel offended just hearing that.
Daniel Plagle said, yes, Robert Altman had a bunch of deleted footage, but he couldn't get the studio to let him do it, but they wouldn't pony up the cash. Well, yeah.
Robert Altman needs to go to HBO Max, talk to Zack Snyder's people. They need to
Release the Altman cut.
Release the Altman cut, baby.
Release the Altman cut.
Release the Altman cut.
Or just have Zack Snyder.
You guys joke, but I'm all for that kind of crap.
I am too.
I know everybody rallies against the whole fans asking for stuff thing, but I feel like some of the fans are cool about it. I really don't see the problem.
I don't either.
Ever since the Sonic movie, we owe a great debt of gratitude to toxic fandom, so I'm for it.
You're such a prick. I'm going to tell you something right now that on YouTube, I put this on the NERDWatch Facebook page a few days ago. There is a great little mini doc that I highly recommend about
like a little person doctor.
It's like a mini documentary about planes, trains, and automobiles. The John Hughes movie that everybody loves so much during Thanksgiving and Christmas. I got to tell you something. This little mini documentary that I found, it's currently on our NERDWatch page, deals with the fact that John Hughes had a huge cut of this film, and we're missing alternate subplots and storylines that didn't make it into the original movie. And what he had planned from the very few things that he had available were really good. So if you can check it out on our NERDWatch page.
Release the Hughes cut.
That's what they said. Release the Hughes cut. So if you are a fan of planes, trains, and automobiles, you can look up the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles mini documentary on YouTube right now, and you can check that out on YouTube as we speak. And I got to tell you something. I highly recommend it. The gentleman that put it together, I cannot remember his name. No, the name of his channel. The name of it. Let me see here. Oh, here it is. The name of his channel is Hats Off Entertainment. It's called the name of his channel on YouTube is Hats Off Entertainment, and it's called The Lost Version of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, you know who that is, right? That's Brian Singer's new YouTube production company.
Shut up.
You shouldn't follow that.
Shut up. Are you serious?
I'm kidding.
Are
I
you
have no
messing
idea.
with me? Shut
I have
up.
no idea.
Check out Hats Off Entertainment, the lost version of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I can't recommend this enough. It's 17 minutes long, and it's packed with some really fun tidbits about the production of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and what John Hughes had to cut from the movie in order to get it down to 90 minutes, because he actually originally had it like 3 hours and 40 minutes, and then he cut it down to 2 hours, and then the studio still said, we want a half an hour cut from this movie. So what's still there is pretty perfect, but there's also subplots that were really cool. So
and there was also coinciding with all this new Planes, Trains, and Automobiles stuff. Oh, I'm thinking of Home Alone, the John Candy cameo. They I don't know if you heard that news, but he only got paid like $400 for doing that.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, this is really cool. Let me tell you one of the many little subplots in that Planes, Trains, and Automobile docs we find out. Do you remember when Steve Martin and John Candy are in the hotel room and they get robbed by that kid that takes all their money and stuff? If you listen in the movie, they talk about how much money he had in his wallet, and apparently that kid in the extended cut of the film, or what his subplot was, is that he was the pizza guy that sent them over pizza, and they stiffed him on the tip. So he comes back and he robs them. It's stuff, interesting stuff like that. It's really cool. So it adds a little context, a little contextual meat to the story, which is really neat. So Daniel Plagle also said another one that we lost out on was a 3-hour cut of Sword of the Valiant with Sean Connery in it. That's a deep cut, Daniel Plagle. That's a super deep cut. Anyway.
Is that the one where he played a dragon?
No, that's Dragonheart.
No, dude,
freak.
No, man, that's the Extraordinary Gentleman.
You're such a weirdo. Anyway, listen, guys, we're out of time. Please, whatever you do, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/NerdWatch, on YouTube at NerdWatch Nation, and on our new Twitch page, twitch.tv/NerdWatch808, twitch.tv/NerdWatch808. Follow us there, become subscribers, follow us on our YouTube and our Facebook pages. All of our Instagrams and all of the other stuff is at the bottom of the screen as well. So please follow us there, and you can we broadcast simultaneously on those 3 platforms. And please follow us and let us know what you think. Comment every week. Yeah, stop it. No, we don't want to do that. Anyway, we are out of time. All right, Kai. Before we get out of here, am I missing anything?
Nope.
We're good.
Peace out, man.
Fantastic. Well, listen, you guys, we are in December. I want you guys, as a little bit of homework for the next couple of weeks, think of a couple of great Christmas movies, holiday movies that you like to watch around this time. It doesn't even have to be Christmas movies in particular, but things you like to watch during this time. So have that prepared. I'm going to ask a couple of those questions when we talk about.
There's a really great one I like to watch a lot called The North Pole with Peter North in it.
Well, actually, I heard a Serbian film is getting like an extended director's cut too.
Well, no, that's the uncut edition that already exists. They're just putting it in 4K, which is absolutely mind blowing.
You guys are crazy. Anyway,
anybody
big
wants
shout
to
out.
see a movie in super quality is got to get their heads checked because but whatever.
Big shout out to our good friends Daniel Plagle and Todd, not Todd Bernardi. He's on the show.
Don't think that.
Carl Amano. And of course, DJ Cave Kane and Kirsten.
The catty one.
Also, a big shout out to one of our favorite people, Ron Cataguy. Ron Cataguy, very talented guy out there in California who we absolutely love. Ron, he says, thanks, guys, and y'all stay safe. And yeah, please, if you don't know anything about Ron Cataguy, know he's very talented, and he is currently working on stuff in Hollywood, and he's working on Bob's Burgers.
The backgrounds on a lot of animation that, like, he did the Justice League United. He just a lot of the DC animated backgrounds. Those are all Ron Cataguy. And also,
what?
While we're giving shout outs, also shout out to Masters of the Obvious podcast with our friend Cynthia Rose and Kirsten Bozio. And they just had a big Ninja Turtle episode. Turtle artist Buster Moody was just on. So I can't wait to listen to that one.
Great. So why don't you be on their show and be with Buster Moody then, Alika?
Oh, I would if I could. You don't think I'm trying?
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up the show, we got some big news that just got dropped. Well, actually, it was yesterday, but I don't think you even saw this.
No.
Peter Dinklage just got cast in the Toxic Avenger reboot.
I saw that.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, as Toxie.
And
What?
it's a Legendary Pictures release, so this is not no small movie.
Wait,
so
what?
I'm willing to bet Peter Dinklage is playing the little nerdy guy, and then they dunk him in the toxic waste, and then he comes out and he's Jason Momoa.
And he's Lou Ferrigno or something. No, I got you.
Lou Ferrigno was your reach?
Yeah, because
Dinklage and Momoa did meet with racist Melly Gibson, so that could have been.
I'm gonna bet you he's Melvin, and he gets dunked in the toxic waste.
By the way, make sure you guys get those. Don't forget, get those holiday movies ready. I want to hear what you guys watch during this Christmas season.
Man.
I know I'm not the boss.
I bet you G Money's gonna review Fat Man.
I just might, because guess who did? Aron did, and Aron said it was really good. Yeah, so I'm excited now.
It's not really as good as Passion of the Christ or anything. But...
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful week. We'll see you back here next week, Tuesday. So for us, the Nerd Watch, thank you guys for tuning in, and for Phormat, the WoW King, the Maui Comics guy, Alika, and our see you next Tuesday guy, Todd, the man who is the Dark Knight, Gannon, and of course Kai. I am G Money. Peace out. Much love, and most assuredly, always stay nerdy. We'll see you back here on the Nerd Watch next week. Aloha.
Send us them wiener pics.
You are what you eat.
You guys are dumb.
That's why Gannon's a dick.
McClunky.